Good morning, everybody. Just wanted to show you kind of how we start off, how I like to start off the day. And a lot of people are interested in coffee and like coffee, and so I thought I'd just kind of show you. It's in the morning, still got my coffee here, and coffee can be very good and anti-inflammatory. It can also be very bad for you. So it just depends on what you do with it and how you do it. And so I wanted to give you a couple of examples of things that you can do that actually make it good for you, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, helpful, and all those things. So first, what not to do. So we see a lot of people with like the fat-free creamers. Those are a bad idea. Sugar-free creamers are an even worse idea. So you have to be really careful about that. The half and halves and those things, if it can sit in a little cup out on the on a table someplace for days or weeks or whatever, however long they're there, probably a bad idea to be ingesting. Those have trans fats and are processed fats, and they will clog up your arteries. So we want to try to stay away from those things. But what you can do, so a good alternative is what we call bulletproof. We don't call it. Somebody named it Bulletproof Coffee. So I'll show you. There's this one, which is the XCT oil. So Bulletproof XCT oil. And you just start with a little, just a small amount of that in your coffee. So maybe like a half a teaspoon, something along those lines. And what it is actually concentrated coconut oil. It's highly concentrated, but there's a lot of really good research on the anti-inflammatory benefits of fat, those types of fats, medium chain triglycerides, again, concentrated into this. It's MCT oil, but Bulletproof calls it XCT oil. You can get XCT oil here at our office. But be careful. So then there's a step above that, which is brain octane. I've been doing this now for probably 3 years, and so I'm up to 2 tablespoons, about like maybe a tablespoon and a half to 2 tablespoons of the brain octane, which is even more concentrated than the XCT oil. So there's different levels. So it's MCT oil, medium chain triglycerides, but it is more concentrated. So the XCT oil is more concentrated, and then the brain octane is even more concentrated than that. But it's awesome. So we know that those medium chain triglycerides are really, really good for your brain health, and they're anti-inflammatory. So we do that, and then some butter. So I'll show you what it looks like. So here's my down. There we go. There's my coffee. You could probably blend it up a little better than that, but that's what it looks like. And I'll bring it back. So, butter, and then I'll do whatever amount of butter you want to do. I don't really like to do a ton of it, but I'll do maybe like a tablespoon, a little less than a tablespoon of butter, and the XCT oil or brain octane, and then I use one of those battery powered whispers, and just froth it. Right, some people call it a frother. So I'll just froth it and get it kind of foamy and all mixed up. You can also put turmeric powder in your coffee. You can put you could do a cold frozen ice cubes. You could do all that kind of stuff. You can put it in a blender, which is real easy with the XCT oil and butter, and then blend it. We're gonna attach a couple of links on here. So there's a recipe for turmeric powder, turmeric latte with the bulletproof stuff. The other thing is you got to be really careful about the type of coffee. So we don't want to be eating processed foods. We don't want to be eating processed coffees either. So we have to be careful of, we have to be careful of the type of coffee. So if it's, a chemically processed thing, then that's going to end up hurting us too. So I'll try to go organic. There's like the fair trade kind of type of coffee. We try to stick with that. I don't, if it's decaffeinated, be maybe doing it for the taste, but in order for it to be decaffeinated, there has to be some type of processing that goes on with it, which is actually not good either. So you can get the light, you can always kind of water it down if you need to. But anyway, that's the idea. So coffee can be good for you. It can be anti-inflammatory. I like, again, to mix it, the XCT oil or the oil and the butter, and then just whip it all together. And again, there's lots of studies that show that coffee is anti-inflammatory. We know that the XCT or the MCT oil, medium chain triglyceride oil, is very, very good for you. So we would recommend doing that. If you have any questions, please let us know. And despite what people say, enjoy your coffee. Just make sure it's the right coffee, and it can be very healthy for you.